Hi guys, I'm Gabby and thank you for stopping by my channel, and if you're returning, thank you so much and welcome back. Today's video is a requested one. I had a viewer ask me a question below one of my videos. She was asking exactly what did I do and what documents did I send in when I petitioned for my husband's visa. My husband is from Ghana and this viewer is engaged and her fiance is from Ghana as well. And so in today's video, we'll be discussing exactly the documents, the forms, all the things you will need when you are petitioning for a loved one. Now, there are a few differences when you're petitioning for a spouse versus a fiance. I was petitioning for a spouse because my husband and I were already married. So one of the major differences between a spouse visa and a fiance visa would be the forms that you will be filling out. For a fiance visa, you'll be filling out the I129F form, and for a spouse visa, you fill out the I130 form. Also, one of the major differences between a fiance visa and a spouse visa is because you're not married, you're getting the visa with the anticipation that you and your spouse will get married. When you go into this contract, basically this contract of getting this visa, you're basically saying that you promise that once your spouse gets his visa and gets to the U.S., the both of you will marry within 90 days. So you have a 90-day window to get married once your spouse comes to the U.S. And if you do not get married within those 90 days, then your fiance will have to return to their home country. Okay, so we'll go over what I did and the things that you would have to do if you are petitioning for your spouse or your fiance. Okay, my first tip before you even start the process would be to visit visajourney.com. This site was extremely helpful for me when I was petitioning for my husband's visa. I was considering an immigration lawyer to help me and my husband with our case because I knew nothing about it, and I just thought that having an immigration attorney would be the best for us. However, after that consultation, I found visajourney.com and it gave me the confidence that I could actually do this myself. This is what we're going to be going through today because that's exactly what I used to help me and my husband petition for his visa. I was on that website literally every day, and I highly recommend it. I really do. So guys, this is a copy of my packet that I sent to USCIS's lockbox when I submitted my petition for my husband's visa. At the time when we filled out the I-130, it was not available online yet, so we had to physically mail in this document. See how thick it is? Physically mail this in to USCIS. And I kept a copy for myself. I kept two copies, a copy for myself and a copy for my husband to take with him to the interview, so he would have a copy of everything I submitted so he could see everything that was in the packet. It's very important that your spouse or fiance or whoever is fully aware of everything that you're submitting to USCIS and to NBC. So based off of what the guides that was on visajourney.com, they even went as far as to tell you how to put your packet together, meaning what will be on top, what will go second, what will go third, etc. And they recommended like a cover page. This is what, let me see. I don't want to show too much information. I'll try to show you what I can. Okay guys, so this is part of my cover page that I submitted with my I-130 visa petition packet. So per the guidelines on visajourney.com, they suggested that you include a cover page. Now that you're doing it online, this is not necessary, this cover page. But I'm just showing you this so you can have an idea of, you can see exactly what I submitted when I submitted my I-130 visa petition to USCIS, my husband. So as you can see, the first thing that I submitted was the filing fee. So what I did was I made a copy of the check. That I included the check, of course, but I included a photocopy of the check for the filing fee. I also included the G1145 form, And what that is basically, I'll show you what the form looks like in a little bit. But basically what it is, it's just a quick form that you put your name and your email address on. So basically it allows USCIS to send you information, any update status on your I-130 petition to that email that you put on this G1145 form. So it's just a form saying that you want electronic communication via your email about your case status. So it's an optional form. You don't have to submit it, but I suggest that you do. Then I also included my I-130, which is the actual petition that you'll be doing for a spouse visa. And then I included my form I-130A, which is a supplemental form. This is basically information about the beneficiary. This will be your spouse that you are submitting the petition for. Then included in that packet, I also included 2 photographs of myself and my husband. These photographs were actually passport photos. So my husband had to do passports and he had to send them to me. I also included a copy of my passport, and this is basically to prove that I was a U.S. citizen. And then I included a copy of our marriage certificate. That was super uber important because I was submitting for a spouse visa, so I had to show that, hey, we were married, he's my spouse, right? Then I also included evidence of a bona fide marriage. That's something that will have to be included when you are submitting for a spouse. And underneath that you will see these are the things that I include. Ooh, y'all, my nails look bad, I'm sorry. I included employment marital status update. This was basically a form that I printed out from my HR portal for my job that showed that I updated my status from single to married. I included a copy of my life insurance that showed my husband as a beneficiary. I also included a copy of my credit card that showed that my husband was an authorized user. And then I included photos of my husband and I, photos of my husband and some of his family members. And I also included chat messages between my husband and I. So those were things that I included to kind of support the legitimacy of my marriage. Okay, so that's what was included in my I-130 packet. Once my visa petition was approved by USCIS, then USCIS sent my petition to NVC, and my next steps involved completing the process with NVC. So I had to pay 2 fees that totaled $445, as well as complete the Affidavit of Support, which is also known as Form I-864. Along with this form, I included financial documents, which was my tax transcripts. This basically proved that I made enough money to financially support all of those within my household, which included my husband. There was also an online application known as DS-260 that was to be completed by my husband, but I completed it on his behalf. The DS-260 basically is a background information on the beneficiary, or this would be the person that wishes to immigrate to the U.S. So we submitted that along with some civil documents. So these civil documents included things such as birth certificates, marriage certificates, police certificates, things of that nature. Once NVC accepted everything, an interview was scheduled. But prior to the interview, my husband had to complete a medical examination and take that information with him to the interview. So let's talk about the steps for submitting a fiancé visa, also referred to as the K-1 visa. From the visajourney.com website, I encourage you all to visit this website. There will be a link below in the description box. There are 11 steps to assemble your I-129F or Fiancé visa packet that the visajourney.com website provides. Remember, according to USCIS website, the Fiancé visa or the I-129F form must be mailed into USCIS lockbox. Unfortunately, only the spouse visa and the I-130 form can be submitted online. Okay, I'll briefly go over the 11 steps that the visajourney.com website provides in putting together your I-129 or Fiancé visa packet. So again, for more details, please visit visajourney.com. Step 1, you must pay the $535 fee to USCIS You can pay this via a check or a money order that you can mail into the lockbox, or you can make the payment online. Make sure to include a receipt of your payment if you choose to pay this online. Step 2 will be the cover letter. This will just be a one-page letter with the description of your case. Make sure to include a table of contents that outlines everything that you've included in your packet, and also make sure to sign and date the cover letter page, okay? Step 3 will be the completed I-129F form. Step 4 will be an original statement from both you, the U.S. citizen, and the foreign spouse of your intent to marry within 90 days after your fiancé arrives in the United States. Okay. Step 5 will be a proof that you and your fiancé have met in the past 2 years. Flight documents, boarding passes, pictures, things like that. Step 6 will be passport photo, both one of you of the U.S. citizen and then one of the foreigner. Step 8 would be a copy of your birth certificate, or either all the pages of your U.S. citizen's passport. This is to identify that you are proof of your U.S. citizenship. Step 9 will be a copy of the divorce decree, if this is necessary. If you or your foreign fiance have ever been married, you have to show proof that the marriage is dissolved. Step 10 will be proof of your legal name change, if either you or your fiance have different names that's other than what is shown on any of your documents, okay? The final step, step 11, is another if applicable situation. If you have any criminal records, you'll need to submit certified copies of those. You'll need to mail in the completed I-129 forms and all your documents and evidence to the USCIS Dallas lockbox. Please make sure to have a return receipt or delivery confirmation. You'll need to also include proof of income in your packet. This will include statements from your employer that has the date, type of employment you have, your pay. Also make sure to include 2 pay stubs and your W-2s. Once your petition is approved by USCIS, you'll want to make sure that your fiancé has a complete copy of your I-129 packet, to include the I-129 form, the NOA2 letter that says that your case was submitted and approved. Also, another letter of intent of you guys to marry with both your signatures on it, as well as any evidence of your ongoing relationship. Once you get with NVC, you should be completing Form I-134, which is the Affidavit of Support, and you'll want to make sure your fiancé has that as well. After NVC has received your documents and is satisfied that you completed everything, they will schedule an interview. During this waiting time, your fiancé will need to schedule their medical exam with one of the approved doctors. At the interview, please make sure your fiancé carries a complete copy of the packet that you submitted with them. Once they have been approved and the petition is approved, your fiancé will now arrive in the U.S. and will have 90 days from that time to marry. Thereafter, you should apply for your adjustment of status. This will give your fiancé his or her green card. Remember that this will be a temporary 2-year conditional green card, so you guys will have to renew it before the 2 years expires in order for your spouse to receive their 10-year green card. Okay, guys, that about wraps it up. Hopefully this video has been helpful. If you have any questions, please leave them below. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, comment, like, and share. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Thanks. Bye.